All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this stream. Um, yeah, I suppose this is another stream like we did one in May for State of the Subreddit, as well as discussing a recent survey. This time we have more mods around, including Ravenloft, who you can see in chat, Messages, and of course me, JamesRPGArt, as well as JamesRPGArt. Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Sup, nerds?
Hello.
Okay.
Oh yeah, apologies to Acid and Rafe for you guys. Okay. Hey.
Dragna cut out
All right,
for
cool.
a
So
bit.
yeah, apologies to Acid and Rafe for me not including them on the graphic on the left side at the time I made that. I didn't know you guys were joining, so glad to have you all here.
No, it's fine. You guys are like the hosts. We're just, along for the ride.
Yeah, I unfortunately have to dip out a little bit sooner than y'all as well, so I'm happy to be here while I can be.
Right. I suppose without further ado, do you want to get into the survey or do you want to talk about the wiki first?
Yeah, Acid, do you want to give a quick update on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as part of the State of the Subreddit survey a couple of months ago, and Dragna and Dragnazio and Rafe are going to go into some more detail on a few other updates on that front. Folks had discussed wanting to update how we present resources on the subreddit. So we've worked on kind of laying the foundation for converting what you all, or I think the community largely knows as the mega thread, and the subsequent threads into a formal Reddit wiki format. So we have a number of folks that signed up to join us as wiki curators, who are folks that are scouring the sub and other resources for compiling links, and myself and other folks in that team are going to be fleshing them out, making them, small descriptors and additional paragraphs to kind of help clarify and guide new and veteran DMs of the module alike. We've made some pretty hefty progress so far, and I would say, we're a little over a third of the way done with the curation. We had, with it being a free kind of pro bono project, I understand that not everybody has the time commitment available, and so we had a couple of users that ended up not being able to complete a project they were interested in, but nonetheless, there's still plenty of folks available that are interested in helping out, and our goal is to have a full rough draft of the wiki completed by the end of the year, to coincide with another wonderful anniversary for our Curse of Strahd.
Yeah, hopefully that'll look pretty good when it's done. I've gotten some sneak previews, so big shout out to Acid for basically organizing all of that, and to everyone who's been helping out. The wiki's looking really great. We've got some great drafters and some great curators going on in the wiki curation channel. Speaking of which, if you are in the Discord, do tag Assiduous, so that if you're interested in helping out and you're not already helping out, we could always use more help in sifting through stuff if Acid has need for it.
Yeah, I could always use some extra hands. Always nice to even hear from folks that have some passing interest. I'm sure that we will have future projects in the works as well that can use some extra assistance. So always open to volunteers.
Yeah, and hopefully this will be easier to navigate than the mega threads. Yeah, this is just something we thought we would do, as well as hopefully they will be easier to update, since the mega threads haven't been updated since like almost half a year now. So yeah, this is just something we're trying to do for the community as part of the previous State of the Subreddit stream where we discussed like updating the mega threads and stuff like that. So yeah, we decided to go for a wiki.
Cool. So with that said, one other minor thing that Rafe was working on when she came on, some people asked about the subreddit CSS, and she did a really bang-up job on updating the CSS for old Reddit and such. Anyone who's using that has probably seen her handiwork. It's looking really good. So that's one other thing from the recent state of the subreddit that Rafe's been working on.
And if anyone has any comments, concerns, criticisms, suggestions for the old subreddit look and feel, please feel free to shoot me a message. I don't really use old Reddit myself, so it boils down to me testing everything when I make the updates. But if you are a regular user, I would love to hear from you.
Awesome. I suppose we can move on to the current survey. And first of all, we have some questions regarding the previous survey, whether people participated in it and whether they felt we were doing a good job. And then we have some personal demographics and some Dungeons and Dragons demographics, which I'm sure the other mods, particularly Dragna, will be most interested to talk about.
Cool. Yeah. So overall, we had a good turnout of people who answered the survey. Around 400-ish people in total, which was a bit less than the original one, but still really good. Overall, as you can see, a majority had not participated in the old state of the subreddit survey, but we did get a good number of people who had, which meant we got some good updates on, what people thought of the changes we'd made, whether the progress was what they had been looking for. Some of the stuff that they've been asking about, we'll go over in a sec. Just briefly, some stuff that, if you want to go to the next one.
I'm already on the next one.
We had a bunch of, responses from our users, people saying which projects and which changes they wanted. For example, things like the community commissions, which we recently had with the Berez battle map, the discussion threads, which were brought back, updating the mega threads and changing that into the wiki, which Assiduous is now helming, and a number of other things. So overall, we had a very positive response. Pretty much everybody except for a very small minority thought that we had started addressing the concerns and requests in that survey. So we're feeling pretty good about that, and hopefully we can keep carrying that forward for the rest of the year. Overall, we're looking to keep getting people's feedback. So again, as always, if you have any thoughts, any ideas for features or projects or events that we should have, do feel free to hit us up on the Discord or by sending us messages via mod mail on the subreddit. Always happen to listen. So we had some demographic stuff from users. Just the goal of this was to kind of get a better lens into our community's makeup, what kind of people we have around, what kind of community we serve. Just kind of more of a for fun thing. This was all anonymous, trying to get a sense of who's around, what we can do for certain portions of our community, and so on. So overall, age-wise, that was the one we started with. Not overly surprising given Reddit demographics. Most people were 20, 29. Had some older people around 30. Big shout out to the 4 people older than 50 and the 1 person older than 60 years old. We appreciate you guys, and we hope you old schoolers, assuming that you did play older editions of D&D, are finding our 5e Curse of Strahd community welcoming. Overall, not overly surprising. A lot of the subreddit bore out a lot of, Reddit demographics in general, as you'll see in subsequent slides, if we want to go to the next one. So, as you can see here, not a huge surprise as far as Reddit ethnicity. The big majority of our community is white, although we do have a good-sized Hispanic Latino population of members, as well as some East and Southeast Asian and assorted. But overall, honestly, this is not. I mean, it does kind of reflect Reddit demographics, but obviously we prefer what we can do to be more inclusive of everyone. So this is just kind of observing what the makeup of our community, or at least the people who've responded to our survey, looks right now. But if anyone has any suggestions or recommendations for what we can do to attract more people, or make the community more inclusive of people who might be interested in joining, who might not be currently reflected in the makeup of the community, again, feel free to reach out to the mod team. More than glad to hear from anyone. All right, Zio, what's next?
Gender and sexuality. If you want to talk
Cool.
about that, or should I just get through the slides more or less?
Just quickly, this one, gender identity. You guys can just see the results here. We'll probably be posting the analytics up on the Discord and subreddit at some point. Again, Reddit demographics speaking overwhelmingly male, but did have some mix of other demographics, both transgender, non-binary, and just cis female. So thank you to everyone, by the way, who did respond to our demographic questions. They were anonymous, and we appreciate you guys letting us know where you're at. And again, both for this question and the previous one, whatever we can do to make the community more inclusive and more attractive to anyone who might not currently feel as represented in the community, please feel free to reach out to the mod team. Always glad to do what we can to help make this a better community for everyone.
Yeah, and regarding my audio volume, I literally cannot make myself louder.
Have you tried shouting?
No, but it's after midnight here, so I'd rather not.
Perfect. Yeah, so sexuality, good mix here. Interesting numbers, definitely less straight than you would expect in the average population. Hashtag buy gang rise up. Otherwise, yeah, good mix of people. 405 responses seems pretty good for a statistical sample, but on the lower end, obviously. Shout out to our 16 ace friends. We love you guys. Otherwise, yeah, just again scrolling through some minor demographic stuff if anyone's interested. And hopefully we have tried to make this a pretty inclusive community. I know sexuality is something that's come up more than occasionally. And again, going back to gender identity, I think there's been a few considerations like LGBTQ representation in the module. I know some people work with Victor, or play around with the Godfrey Vladimir relationship, or gender swap Strahd him, or I should say herself. So
yeah, I mean, part of the reason that my name on Discord is she/her is, yes, I do get mistaken for a man sometimes, but also I think it's important to normalize that kind of thing on a personal level. So I may not be trans, but I want people to know that it's okay. Feel safe here to give yourself your personal pronouns in your name. No one's going to give you crap for it, and if they do, I would be happy to lay the band hammer down.
All right, cool. So other demographic question we asked was just level of education. A lot of college students, a lot of college grads. Again, fitting Reddit demographics. A good amount of people who have master's degrees, and shout out to our PhDs and above, who I believe at least one of them makes up the majority of our meme generating capacity. Otherwise, yeah. Again, not much to look at here. Just going through some quick demographic stuff. Continent-wise, obviously, again, Reddit. Huge amount of people in North Central America. About a quarter of our users are from Europe, and not a huge amount. We've got some South American users, folks from Asia, others from Australian Pacific Islands. I don't think anyone responded from Africa. Could have missed something, but
no, there is one user from Africa.
Well, shout out to you then. I can't read slides. So yeah, about makes sense, I think. That's part of the reason why we have, aired this a bit, later in terms of Eastern time, and why a lot of our stuff tends to be Eastern time. Just because, according to our user base, that seems to be a majority of our users. Regarding the US itself,
we do have a lot of European responses, though, which is even noted in chat somewhat surprising.
Sure enough. Yeah, I wonder if there's like a cause for that. I don't know how Reddit in general,
It's me.
I
draw the
looks.
Europeans. I draw in the Europeans.
Yeah, you forced us to be inclusive of those damn European kids. But in the U.S. itself, good assortment of people. A lot of folks from the Midwest. Was not expecting that many. Obviously, Northeast Mid-Atlantic had a big number. New England showed up, far west, Pacific Northwest. I was honestly expecting more, far west folks, California and such. So interesting allotment. I'm not really sure how to interpret this or what to make of it. But again, thank you to everyone who responded to the survey and helped us just get a better sense of where people are at. Cool. All right, Zio, what's next?
The Dungeons and Dragons demographics.
All right, bring it on.
Yeah, so these might be a little bit more interesting.
So yeah, one thing that someone did point out, in their response to the survey was that it would have been nice to get, more gradations above 5 years. And looking at this, I do kind of agree, given that it wound up being the majority amount. In retrospect, I think I would have preferred to do like 5 to 8 and then like 8+ years or something like that. Or maybe like 5 to 10 and then, 10+ years. I think I was expecting fewer long-term DMs, but I think it's interesting that a majority of the people on the sub, or at least a majority of people who responded to the survey, are DMs who have been around for, not a majority, but a plurality, are DMs who've been around the block for a while and probably know pretty well what they're doing. And I kind of wonder whether that's because the kind of person, like DMs tend to have played the game for longer, or because DMs tend to seek out resources like our subreddit after they've been playing for longer.
Might have also been interesting to break it down by the year that certain versions of D&D released, which I don't have those dates on hand, but that would be interesting to see. The majority of people started to play when 2nd edition came out, when 3rd edition came out, 3.5, so on and so forth.
Yeah, we do have a slide for which edition people started playing with. So as you can see, the majority, over half, started with 5th edition. But there are some people that have played since original D&D.
Yeah, like overall, you can see that, probably around, assuming that they played 3.5 when it first came out, around 40% of our community has been playing D&D for like at least 15 years. So shout out to you guys.
Shout out to us old people who suffered through THAC0.
Wait, you started with AD&D, Rafe?
I did. I started playing D&D when I was 10 years old. Let me tell you the number of dumb character mistakes I made.
What's your favorite or worst off the top of your head?
I guess my favorite story at the time is this was you roll 3d6 in order for stats. I had a character with 5 strength. They pulled her around in a wagon. They were chased by a Fomorian, said, F this, let her go. She stuck her sword in the air, rolling down the hill on her wagon, rolled a nat 20 crit, and did some serious damage to this Fomorian.
Holy shit, that's incredible. How does that... You know what? I'm not even going to question it. That's fantastic. I love it.
It's okay. She later got eaten alive.
That makes it okay then.
And all was right with the world.
Still though, I love that you have to be carried around in a wagon. Just like, I have this idea of like this little like, I mean, on the one hand, like I don't want to make fun of like accessibility
things. Red wagon.
Like I just, yeah, I'm not going to go down that route, but it is. Yeah, that's a good story. Anyways, platform preferences. Around half people prefer in-person when possible. Obviously, that's not currently possible for a lot of people because of the pandemic situation. Online, 15%, and both 35%. So makes sense. And I feel for those folks who aren't currently able to play in person. Preference-wise, pretty much a huge majority of people tend to prefer battle maps or Theater of the Mind either battle maps alone or battle maps combined with Theater of the Mind. Just 7% only do theater, which is kind of a good indication regarding the battle map commissions that our community is doing. And honestly, it's kind of a weird, like kind of ambiguous situation sometimes because for like small combats that only take 1 turn or 2 turns, maybe you'll run Theater of their Mind, especially if they only involve like 1 character and they don't have like an official battle map. So interesting stuff. I guess, just more validation to keep looking at commissioning community battle maps where possible. Hopefully they can be of some people.
And regarding the current battle map commission, I'm still waiting for the first sketches from Bananas Maps, and when I get them, I make sure to update all of you, both on the subreddit and on the Discord, so keep an eye out.
Cool. So, nice. What's the next one? Yeah, so this one makes a lot of sense in that most people are running just 1 campaign at a time. Some people are running 2 campaigns. Decent chunk of people, the second highest place, who are not running any campaigns. And I wonder if that's mostly, people who have finished a campaign and are sticking around, or people who are about to run a campaign and are just using the community to prep. But yeah, big shout out to the 1.4% of you crazy bastards who are running 3 or more campaigns simultaneously. I've done that. It's not fun, and or requires lots of hours where you're just doing nothing at home. So,
and it's all
shout out to y'all.
Strahd.
Yep. Hey, I was running 2 Curse of Strahd campaigns. Most people have not finished any Curse of Strahd campaigns. I guess combined with the last slide implies that around, a third of the people who have, are not running a campaign are about to start, and around, 2/3 of the people who aren't running a campaign are just sticking around because they love the vibe. Otherwise, a number of people have finished 1 campaign, a small minority, finished 2 campaigns, and this, again, a small number of mad lads have completed 3 entire campaigns. So shout out to you crazy people.
How many have you done? Is it 2?
Yeah, I finished 2.
All right.
Currently 1 more ongoing. Anyways, this question was just for fun. We just wanted to see how big the player to DM pipeline for Curse of Strahd was. From the looks of it, most people, just didn't play before DMing it, but there's a small minority, around 13-14%, who had. So it's interesting. I don't know if there's like a tradition of players of modules DMing those modules afterward. Like, obviously everyone's, not everyone, but a lot of people have some connection with LMOP. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if Fandelver had, a large representation of people who have played and DM'd. But for something like, I don't know, Tomb of Annihilation, for example, I wonder how frequent it is that, someone enjoys a module so much that they go on to DM it themselves afterward.
I do feel like that's more common with Curse of Strahd, though, than other modules.
Probably, especially because Curse of Strahd is such a, a well-known and celebrated module.
Yeah, that being said, there's actually only like a third of new DMs who are completely new to D&D and decided to run Curse of Strahd as their first campaign, which...
Welcome, you crazy bastards!
Yeah, judging by the intensity of posts on Reddit, there should be more of you.
Well, maybe those who have already run found their way to the Discord first.
Maybe.
I don't know. But yeah, God bless you, you crazy diamonds, and best of luck, you 29%. Best of wishes, and hopefully you can get some help. Obligatory plug for the Discord, which you can find on the overlay, discord.gg/a bunch of letters. If you're new to the campaign. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, welcome to new people. Hopefully the subreddit is helpful to you. And I do not envy you, but I wish you well. Otherwise, we're curious to see how many players people tended to have. It seems to match up pretty well with the standard, assortment. Most people had either 4 or 5. A few had 3. A few had 6. Around 6% had either 7 or more or 2 players. And shout out to that 0.8% who had 1 player. So, but overall seems to fall majorly in the expected D&D player spaces, yeah. So nothing too surprising. Yeah, exactly. Although I'm curious to know if you would have more, 6-player campaigns if this weren't Strahd, which itself, the community tries to tell people a lot of the time, like, hey, you should probably, have a smaller party where possible. So on the margin, I wonder if that makes a difference. This as a whole just kind of indicates that probably the survey wasn't the most representative of the community, considering that the Discord has 3,000 people and the sub has almost 26,000 now. So this definitely was kind of self-selecting, although it's also kind of possible that most of the subreddit subscribers are, I don't know if I can, assume this, but
yeah.
What's that?
That the most active subreddit members are already on the Discord as well?
Yeah, exactly. Like the people who are more likely to respond to the survey are also more likely to join the Discord because it is, again, self-selecting.
Unfortunately,
but yeah.
without more activity on the subreddit, we can't really get good stats.
Oh, well, hopefully we can keep improving that pipeline and, get a better reach to those people who might only occasionally poke into the subreddit.
Yeah, that does bring us to the end of the survey, at least.
Yeah, so that's the end of the survey. If you guys have any questions about it, feel free to put it in chat. Otherwise, we're going to switch over to some other stuff about the 25K celebration, which is almost a 26K celebration at this point. That went by pretty quickly. So who knows? Maybe this time next year we'll hit, 35K, 40K? Who knows? Or maybe everyone will be playing Rime of the Frost Maiden by then.
Doubtful. We'll see what happens. But yeah, celebratory wise. So here's what some of this fun stuff that we have in store. First off, some of you may have seen that we put a post up on the subreddit announcing an AMA series, an Ask Me Anything series. Our goal with that is to try to emulate what DM Academy did, I think a year or so ago, where they got together a bunch of DMs who both created content and, were just, walk-in-the-mill DMs with a unique perspective on running the game. So to that end, we put out a survey asking people to let us know if there were people that they wanted to do an AMA, or if they wanted to host an AMA themselves, if they wanted to sign up for that. So far, we've gotten a few signups, and we've gotten a few people that have already put in requests. Just because of ease of scheduling, we do have an AMA scheduled for tomorrow, and that will be me. We had a few requests for a Dragna AMA, so I'll be doing one tomorrow to kick it off. We are trying to get... Yeah, and I'll reach out to Mandy. She'll probably do an AMA at some point, though due to her personal life, we're not sure when we'll be able to schedule it, but look out, it's probably coming.
Yeah, exactly. We also had some other signups. I actually haven't reached out to them yet because I've been busy as hell. But let me see if I can just take a look at who they were. Yeah, I think Lunch Break Heroes was interested. Kaya signed up, and I think Harrison signed up as well. So hopefully we can get those guys on.
All
and
great people.
Yes, absolutely. Those guys are great. Hopefully we can get more. And if you're interested in doing an AMA, the form has been taken down, but do please feel free to contact one of the mods if you'd either be interested in signing up for one because you feel you have a unique take or experience on the module, or if you have anyone you'd like to specifically request. So yeah, I think mine will go live tomorrow around 10 a.m. Eastern, in advance of the tomorrow's Twice Bidden episode at 1 p.m. Eastern. So I will see you all then, and that'll go live in the Discord announcements as well.
There were also a few requests / suggestions about getting a Chris Perkins AMA. Sadly, this isn't as easily done, but we are working on it. We'll see what anything happens. I know Rafe has been in touch, so.
Yes, I've reached out to both Wizards and Beetle and Grim to discuss the upcoming module editions, both revamped and the legendary editions of Curse of Strahd, as well as a few other things on the docket. I haven't heard back yet, but that's also not surprising because they are incredibly busy. So
yeah, so we'll see what we can do. I'm sure he's busy with Brian the Frost Maiden, but on the other hand, this kind of AMA would be an opportunity to promote that. So we'll see what happens and see if we can, encourage someone from Wizards to come on for an AMA. I think that'd be a great way to celebrate if we can swing it. Yeah, so that's the AMA stuff. We're hoping to do maybe an AMA, once every week, every 2 weeks, depending on how many people we line up and how frequently. Due to personal reasons, I will be stepping back a bit, so it'll be more Rafe, Zeo, and Acid handling a lot of these things.
I will also be stepping down, so to speak, for a bit.
Well,
so
yeah, not stepping down, but stepping back, I think.
Stepping back, sure. Depends on the workload. But yeah, you will see a lot more of Acid and Rafe especially in community events. I hope to be back by the time we are celebrating the 3rd year anniversary, which we will probably talk about a bit later. But yeah.
Yep.
For the
cool.
upcoming future, you'll see more of Rafe and Acid. Go ahead, Ragnar. Sorry.
Yes. Yep, and we are very grateful to them. In the few months since they joined up, they've been a big help. We've been able to get them to work on a lot of projects and take the lead on a bunch of moderation things. So we are very appreciative, especially at this time where things are going to be a little bit hectic for the two of us. Otherwise, some other thing we're planning on looking at coming up that some people in the 25K celebration survey expressed some interest in was an NPC ensemble art piece. Specifically, this would be a commission of an artist to put together an art piece that depicts a lineup of major Curse of Strahd NPCs. Folks like Strahd, Irina, Esmeralda, Rahadin. It might be pretty broad. It might go as far as I don't know, some like minor allies or even major villains like Babali Saga. We're planning on putting up a survey on, I believe, Monday to get a sense of what people want to see featured in such a thing and whether they would be willing to donate. It would probably be pretty pricey. We're talking a few $100s just because of the costs of these kinds of ensemble pictures. Like for reference, a single full art character piece tends to run anywhere from $40 to $100 depending on the artist and the circumstances. So. And this piece could involve anywhere from 10 to 20 characters. So we're going to try to, find someone who's, interested in working on it. We're going to try to probably crowdfund it again. Maybe people can use the artwork separately as well. And again, that survey to see who people want to include will be going up. I will try to get it up on Monday. So.
Go ahead, Rafe.
Just a quick shout out and thank you for everyone who did donate to the Battle Map Commission, because that was funded incredibly quickly, and it was nice to have such support from the community on that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We literally had that funded in like 5 hours, 6 hours after we put it up.
That was more like 2 and a bit, less than 3.
Okay, fine. But yeah, it was incredibly fast. And big thank you to everyone. And it wasn't even just, huge donations. Like it was a lot of $10, $15 thrown in. So honestly, just to sum up, we've got a really great community. A bunch of folks even asked us, hey, can you reopen it just so I can throw more money into the pile for a future project? So congratulations, this will be a future project. And hopefully once we have this ensemble piece done, we can even separate some of the NPC artworks, just get them as separate PNG images. So honestly, just like accidentally, we might achieve our goal of getting custom artwork for a lot of NPCs in one fell swoop. Obviously, it would take a pretty long time. We don't anticipate this to be a short project. The survey would go up on Monday, go up for a few days, and then we'd probably start looking for artists afterward. I wouldn't expect this to, be done before, Christmas, but we might be able to share it as kind of a celebration of our 3rd anniversary. And yes, that's actually a good point by someone in chat, Lightning Dragon Master. Maybe we could, based on how many characters we can commission, based on how much money we can raise. So we might want to do it open-ended before we, decide exactly how many we're doing. But we'll obviously keep scoping out an artist in the meantime.
Yeah, that's partly why we're doing the survey. That being said, if you do have like any particular styles in mind or any good artist suggestions, feel free to message one of the mods, or talk about them in like some of the Discord chats. We should see the message.
Yep. So let's see. Otherwise, so that's the ensemble piece. Hoping to get that kickstarted Monday, and we might have, after we've talked to an artist before we put it live, maybe we'll have like milestones or something like, if we get it to this amount, we can have this many characters, which will include these characters and so on and so forth. So we'll see what happens. Final community event. The organizer for this is not currently on. He had to leave a bit early, but Assiduous is coordinating a subreddit Discord movie night where we will be watching, in celebration of our 25K milestone, one or more horror vampire movies, both actual horror and camp horror. So he'll be putting up a survey sometime in the next few days / weeks to get a sense of what people want to watch. Stuff like, I think like Nosferatu, Dracula, that sort of thing. So it should be a fun hangout just over Discord, just streaming it one night. And hopefully we can get some people hanging out and just having a good time. The return of the voice chat vibing, one might say.
I might even join, like wake up at what will it be, like 4 a.m.?
Yeah, that's a great idea. That you just don't do that.
Yeah, that's definitely the plan.
Don't do that to yourself. You like keep threatening to wake up at 4 a.m. and we keep telling you not to.
Wake up at 4 a.m. That's bedtime.
You keep giving me reasons to.
So yeah, I think that's about what we've got planned for community events right now. The AMA series, the NPC ensemble art piece, and the movie night. If anyone has any other low maintenance ideas, we're happy to take them. But overall, we insofar as resources of the mod team, that's what we're looking to do a celebration. But we do have some other stuff coming up, some upcoming projects. That might not be tied to the 25K milestone, but that will be, coming up in the future / near future / far future. So obviously, we're going to keep going with the battle maps. Zio is in the process of coordinating with a artist for the Bob Ali Saga Berez one. We'll probably put up another survey for another one in 2 or 3 months. Discussion threads have done pretty well, so we're definitely going to do another one of those. The last one we put up about the the kickoff to the module was very active and very successful. So thank you to everyone who contributed and commented in that one. Otherwise, we might put up some other general events, so to speak. I know we had some talk during the State of the Subreddit stream about generating random encounters, generating additional NPCs or vampire spawn or whatnot. So we'll take a look at what other events we have coming up. And again, Rafe and Acid will be largely taking initiative on putting those together.
Keep in mind, we can only have one active event due to like subreddit constraints and pin messages limits. So yeah, like if you do not fret if like you have suggested an idea and you haven't seen it come to fruition yet. It simply takes some time to organize and do things.
Yep. But yeah, in the further future, we will have our subreddit's 3rd anniversary coming up this December. So to celebrate it, a lot of you have been asking for this for a long time, the past several months, in fact. And we're finally going to have our 2nd, maybe annual Strahd Must Die Tonight competition, in which DMs will recruit players from within the subreddit to do their best to speedrun either a TPK or speedrun killing Strahd. Following that, we might have some other, gameplay competitions coming up in 2021. We'll talk about what exactly those might look like, but for now, we're looking forward to bringing Strahd Must Die Tonight back. Hopefully, we can get a big turnout. I know there were a lot of people who, heard about it after it had already happened and were, disappointed that they weren't able to join. So, given that the subreddit's grown quite a bit since then, and we've learned a good amount about how to put it together, we're going to try to make that happen. And we have been actually been able to have a good partnership with Foundry Virtual Tabletop, both for Twice Bitten and for general subreddit purposes. So We're going to look into seeing if we can get some sort of temporary license available to people for that, compared to, the Roll20 situation that we had with the module last time. We'll see what we can do insofar as licensing and, legalities and what they're willing to provide. But it's something we're looking at.
Yeah. Also, we're considering expanding the time slot and perhaps having the events run for quite a bit longer than last time, because last time I think we had like a week or so, and a lot of people commented that they simply couldn't due to it being like really close to Christmas. So it's likely that this time we will extend the times on many of the events, and hopefully you have more chances to hop in.
Yep. Cool. So other thing that's coming up, we'll probably do it directly after Strahd Must Die Tonight, or perhaps a bit before it over November. The meme competition will be coming back, much to Zio's sadness and dismay. If it's after December, I might be helping with it. Otherwise, Acid and Rafe will be taking point. May the best memer win. That's all I'll say about that.
I will judge you harshly.
Good. So yeah, that's about all we got in terms of upcoming projects. Obligatory plug for Twice Bitten, which is our ongoing Rules as Written Curse of Strahd campaign that I'm running for a bunch of Curse of Strahd DMs. We'll be live tomorrow at 1 p.m. on this Twitch channel. So you can check us out there, and then if you have not already. Okay, now that I've done my self-plug, I think that's all I got.
Yeah. One more thing for those who really enjoyed the fanfiction competition, which also had a really great turnout. We might be bringing it back for the anniversary. We might not. We might have it after New Year's. We'll see about that. But it's definitely something we're considering bringing back, and something I really enjoyed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We had a really big turnout and a really big, positive response to it. So it's definitely looking to be like Strahd Must Die Tonight or an equivalent. It's probably going to be an annual situation as well. So that'll be coming back too. So yeah, I think that's about all we've got coming up. Does anyone have if anyone in the chat has any questions or comments, feel free to put them in there about what the subreddit is doing or what's going on. Otherwise, Rafe and Zio, anything else to add?
Not
nothing
really.
I can think of.
If people do have like some questions for us, I think we can stay up for a bit and answer them. But as far as updates go, I think we're pretty much done.
Yeah, sounds about right. Cool. In that case, thank you folks for hanging out today. We will keep you updated on additional projects and events that we have coming up. As mentioned, I'll be doing my AMA tomorrow, and then a bunch of AMAs subsequently, depending on the timeline of when we can contact people. We'll have the NPC Ensemble survey going up on Monday, hopefully followed by the fundraiser shortly thereafter. And the Discord movie night will come up when Acid is able to put that coordination together. Oh, and apparently people want to hear us do Strahd voices.
I don't have an English Strahd voice, so I'll set out this one.
Oh no! You should do it in non-English.
No.
Come on, the people demand it.
No.
Come on.
I refuse.
Come on.
I do not have a Strahd voice, so.
Okay, fine then. I guess that's how the dream dies.
I mean, maybe I'll practice one up, both for my players and for the next community stream. How about that one?
Sure, just practice it on your own. We'll come back to it later. All right. It looks like the peer pressure on Zio is failing to change his mind, sadly. What are your thoughts on money laundering? I think it's time to cut the stream.
We don't support that.
Say, have we ever been able to peer pressure Zio into anything?
No, we have not. Alas. All right. I think that's all we got.
Dragna has pressured me into making the meme competition.
Oh, I did. Yeah. Awesome. I'm the best.
So, yeah, we've bullied you into not entirely banning memes.
It was perfect. That's the problem with bringing on more mods, is that you're, instead of a senior vote out of 2 votes, you're now 1 vote out of 4.
I still
Get wrecked,
regret
Theo.
that.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming out. Thank you to Rafe for vibing, and Zio for running the graphics. And Acid's not around at this point, but shout out to him for chilling out at the start of the stream. We will see you all back in the Discord and/or subreddit. And to anyone watching Twice Bitten, I will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern back here.
See ya.
Have a good one, folks.